This is Sony S-Log3 straight out of the camera, and this is what it looks like by the end of this video. This is the exact process I use on real client work. Let's get into it. Before we touch a single node, let's start with color management. Most tutorials skip this, and this is why a lot of S-Log3 grades end up looking off. To open your project settings, navigate to the bottom right and click this gear icon. Find color management. For my color science, I'm sticking with Davinci YRGB. You see a lot of tutorials recommending ACEs or color managed modes, and those are great for automation, but I prefer a manual control of a CST workflow. By staying in the standard YRGB, I get to choose exactly where the conversion happens in my node tree. I'm protecting my highlights and keeping the technical fundamentals intact before I ever touch a creative look. I use two CST nodes, CST in and CST out. The first node converts the footage from S-Log3 to Davinci Wide Intermediate. The second node converts the footage from Davinci Wide Intermediate to Rec 709, the normal output space for most screens. CST in, input color space, Sony S-Log3.cine, input gamma, S-Log3, output color space, Davinci Wide Gamut, output gamma, Davinci Intermediate. CST out, input color space, Davinci Wide Gamut, input gamma, Davinci Intermediate, output color space, Rec 709, output gamma, Cineon film log. Pay attention to the last one. My output gamma is Cineon film log, not the standard Rec 709 gamma 2.4 you normally expect. This is vital. Cineon film log is what lets Davinci's native film look LUT sit on this grade properly later on. Get this wrong, and the LUT does nothing, or worse, breaks your image. It's a bit more hands-on than letting the software do it for you. Now we can actually start grading. The image doesn't look right just yet, and that is because we are yet to add the film look LUT. Now I'm going to add the film LUT. I will create a new node that will add the LUT on. To find the LUT, top left of Davinci Resolve, under LUT, navigate to the film looks, and you'll see all the film look LUTs that Resolve offers natively. I'm going to use the Kodak 2383 D65 because it's more neutral. You can try out the other options if you want. Nothing is set in stone. It's just color grading. Alright, so I'll drag the film LUT over, and now we have something that looks like a very good starting point. We have a very good starting point, and it has like a film look ingrained in it. We'll improve on the look shortly, but with just 3 nodes, we've been able to move from this flat color profile to something that has a film based look. My CSTs are like a sandwich, so I have one at the beginning of the node workflow and one at the end. I'll do mostly all my adjustments in between the two CST nodes. Now let's get into the primaries. To adjust the primaries, general exposure, I'll create a node after my CST in, and I'll adjust the gain, gamma, and lift and offset. I'll bring up the scopes now, just so that we can monitor what is going on here. Yeah, so let's start with the primaries. I'm just going to adjust general exposure here using the offset, gain, gamma, lift, depending on what the image needs. I can see my image is too bright now, so I'm just going to take down the gain, just park it somewhere so that I don't lose any detail in the highlights. I think just around, I'll park it around here. It's nice. And yeah, it should probably win this prime. Now I have good exposure just by taking the gain down. Because it's S-Log3, I tend to overexpose when I'm shooting slightly, just so that the shadows are clearer and I can bring them back in post. And since I shoot S-Log anyway, so we have our exposure like in a balanced place now. I think I want to also bring the lift down so that I have a little more darker shadows, and we're not keeping anything in the shadows if you're looking at the waveform, to be specific. That's too much, just a tiny bit. Next, I will do my white balancing. I'll be looking at the vector scope and trying to get the image centered. The image is a bit too warm, so I can't get that split toning that I'm looking for, where the shadow is blue and the highlight is warm. So I'll just use the offset wheel and and drag until I find that balance. You can see the difference in the vector scope, and this is before. There's like a red sting, like an orangey warm sting, and now this is more balanced. You can see the blues and the shadows. So our base look is set. I think I want a little more juice in this, so I'll add a new node and call it saturation, but I use color boost, so I'll say color boost. So I don't use the saturation node, I use the color boost because it does something to the image in a way that saturation doesn't. So color boost is my go-to, so I just add like 10. This looks a bit much, so I think I'll bring it down to like 8. Next, there's something I like to do with my curves. Just create like an S curve, and basically this is how I do it. I'll create a new node and name it curves. So I just go to the curves windows here, then 3 buttons here, editable spline, just so that I'll be able to have splines to move as opposed to, you know, the normal one that's there. Editable splines. Instead of using the contrast here, I use the curves for my own contrast. So I just need just a bit of contrast, not too much, because I'm still trying to keep it flat. Yep, just very tiny there. Next, we're going to work with the skin tone. There's a section in Resolve called Color Splice where all the colors are laid out, and you can find skin tone inside there. The only thing I see is from here you can isolate your skin. Once you click this button, you can see what is selecting and what you're affecting. The only thing I think I want to do to the skin tone right now is just to desaturate it a bit. Notice that I'm still doing all my changes in between the sandwich node. I think just about here is fine. And the difference is very subtle, but there's like a sting that leaves the skin. We're getting to the part where we need to mask out things now. There's a stand that sips its way by the bottom right corner of this frame because we need to get the light close enough, and we plan to take it out in post. So I'll probably do that in this video and show you how to do it or not. But let's continue. I'll create another node now. Here we'll be masking to call attention to certain areas in the image, just basically shaping the light. So I'll make a window. I'll start with an ellipse. This is just to darken the edges, so the attention is towards the image in the center. So I'll feather it out a bit. Now it's affecting the middle of the image. To make it affect the outer side, you just need to click this invert here, and now it's affecting just the outer part of the image. I need to pack it somewhere where it looks natural. I think just about here is fine. This is a bit too much, so just about here should be fine. Yeah, so it still looks natural. Then I'll create a parallel node to mask something else. So now what I'm going to be masking is the orange lights. So I'll just draw a window around this light, and I'll bring the gain down so slightly. You can just put your eyes on the scope, you'll see it's coming down, and it's just like a very, I think I'll fade out a bit more. It's just very. Then I can also see around the table side, there's just so much attention calling there, but still fine, makes it look natural. So I guess I'll leave that, just the light a bit. Now I'll create another parallel node again. There's this light at the bottom here, like a backlight that we put. So I just want to accentuate it a bit. I'll use this tool here, a pen tool, to draw around, just the rough outline. Yeah. And I'll feather it out a bit, just here, soft. And then I think I'll bring the gain up for that, just to shape more. That is what it's doing. I can go further and make another mask and mask out the chair as well. Feather it out, same thing, out, maybe darken a bit more, just slightly. A little more. This is after all the mask, this is before. As you can see, it just gives the image shape. I'll create a node after the LUT and call it Sharpening. I'll just go to the blur tab here, and under radius, I typically keep my sharpening between 0.47 and 0.49. but I'll use 0.48 for this one. It's just to make the image sharper and give you just like a little crisp look. Too much leaves it looking too digital. I think if you wanted real feel, you should have shot a real feel, but sometimes getting close enough is good enough. Where we are at here is good for most projects, but if you want to take the look further by adding grain and halation, this is how you do it. I'm going to just rearrange my node here so that I have space. After the LUT, I'll create a new node, go to effects, I'll add halation and drag it to the node. What it does is it has like this light bleed around highlights. This is too much, so we're gonna take it down. Halation, this is still too much for me. I don't really like to add it as much because even though I'm trying to emulate film, I'm still trying to do my own thing. What here is good. You can see just around the glasses and the brightest part of the image. Yeah, this is where it's affecting the most. After then, grain. Search grain, drag it. You can adjust the grain to like your specific taste. Of course, you can go in and mess around with the settings of halation and grain. For the grain, I'm using Davinci's built-in film grain. The strength of the grain depends on the project. It adds texture, hides any banding, and pushes it further towards film. I'm not trying to recreate any look one for one. I'm just going with how I feel when I'm grading. This is how to get a film look in Davinci Resolve. Everything after the CST is just finishing touches. LUT, halation, grain, sharpening. You can also choose to add vignetting. Even though we already used the mask earlier, you can still add your own vignetting. I'll probably do it the same way. Subtle, invert, use offsets most likely, just to get the edges darker. And just the edges darker, slightly darker. Final scope check. Black points still planted. Highlights not clipped in. Skin tones in the right range. Everything is where it should be. I'm saving this as a still. I can apply this exact grade to the rest of the project with one click. If you are grading multiple clips, you'll thank yourself later. If you want the LUT I built for this grade, it's on my Ko-fi. Link in the description, or you can build your own using everything I showed you. The point of this video is that you can. I don't think of myself as a colorist. I just do what works for me. I'm a filmmaker and artist, and the way I work is dependent on the project. For the stand in the shot, how I got rid of it is I used the patch replacer in the Fusion page. It's just a quick and dirty method of doing it. There are other ways you can take it to Photoshop and do it. There are just a bunch of other ways, but for this, quick fix. That's the process. This is a workflow I use on some of my projects. Same workflow on similar projects. If this was helpful, subscribe. I post like this when I have the time. If you want to learn anything or you think there's a video I should make, comment it below. I'll probably make a video about it.